goodness! And it is all over! Greatest heavyweight in the world! You go into the fire with it! Honestly,
Shroud knockout.
Oh! Your new welterweight champion! Oh my goodness!
Welcome back to the Sports Money MMA coverage of UFC Vegas 109. We've got Roman Dolidze, Anthony Hernandez battling at the Apex. And I've got Apex Predators of the Octagon here, MMA Jeff, Subhuman Gaucho. And we're going to bring you guys 3 of our early looks to try to beat the books. We've got some big plus money opportunities to cash with here tonight. Fights, of course, will be Saturday. We'll be going live around 4:15, 4:20 p.m. for what looks like a 4:30 p.m. Eastern start. So you're going to want to plan.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $50 per month on home insurance, you're getting ripped off. Everyone knows you can buy home insurance online. But did you know there's an Amazon for home insurance? That's right. It's an online marketplace. It cuts out the middleman and gives you wholesale prices. So you could save $3,000 per year for the same home insurance you currently have. Guys, everyone's ditching their home insurance and buying from a marketplace instead. The reason you're likely overpaying for home insurance, it's because 80% of what you pay goes to commissions for the insurance agent. 80%? But if you buy from a marketplace instead, you can cut out the middleman. Put that 80% back into your pocket. Now, this website has home insurance for as low as $1.41 per day using the same big companies you already know. And here's what else you get if you buy from an online marketplace. No more spam calls at all hours of the day. No more hidden fees. And no more rising premiums. You could save up to $3,000 per year with this website, and it only takes 2 minutes to do. It's got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and thousands of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, so you know it's legit. I put a link to the website down below. So whatever button you see on this video, just go ahead and click that, and it's going to take you to the website. Then you're going to answer a couple of simple questions like the type of home you have, where you live, and that's it. So click the link, and you can save up to $3,000. And make sure to click the button at the end to get your quote.
Need better internet than 5G? Your search is over. Get Cox Internet for just $40 a month when you add Cox Mobile. It has faster, more reliable speeds than 5G home internet. Switch today.
Accordingly, looks like we got about 11 fights on the card. This has been a mix and match for the last couple of weeks as they tried to fill the UFC pay-per-view card, UFC Vegas 108, which was an incredibly successful result live. And now we're here for UFC 109. A couple of short notice spots there. Steve Ersig was supposed to take on Haesung Park. Fortunately, he was in the main event last week, and we were able to cash on him getting subbed very quick like. It was embarrassing. So we'll see how this fight card works out. There's a couple of WMMA bouts. I've got the fellas here ready to attack. MMA Jeff, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think they actually added a fight, so I think we're back up to 12 fights on this card. But yeah, there's been a lot of mixing and matching. I've heard a lot of negativity on this card. We like the Apex fights, and they're always exciting. I'm excited for this card. I think there's some pretty good matchups out there, and I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of people were hating on last week's card too, and it's like, who are you to decide what's going to be a good card or not? Yep. Get in there and make some, keep a positive attitude first and foremost, and see what you can do to generate some results. We had a great card. We had a great live stream. It was like 8-3 or 9-3. We're just cashing. And that's a lot of fun. Making money is a lot of fun. I know this guy's been making a lot of money, Subhuman Gaucho. How you doing?
Good, man. Yeah, it's been a really nice run lately. I can see why people are down on this card, but yeah, as you said, man, they were down on last week's card, and that ended up being a great Apex card. I mean, I had a lot of fun watching that. And yeah, maybe it's not the best card ever. We have a lot to look forward to though. There's PFL on noon at noon on Saturday. Dana White Contender Series on Tuesday. Like a lot of good stuff coming up. So
we got a lot of our fighters in this one too. We talked a little bit about backstage some of these fighters that we've got in here. I mean, this seemed like we've bet on quite a few of these here. We've got Cody Brundage, Stolyarenko may most likely get rinsed, but we saw her take down Meatball. We've seen some folks like Jocelyn Edwards. Even Sir Karen Julius Walker in some of these prelim spots, but Touchy Feely is going to be in play here. Fluffy Hernandez. It's going to be a lot of fun for these fights. You'll see on the side, we've got 3 we're going to get to. We're going to have MMA Jeff break it down here, getting us in some of these later prelim spots out there. I believe we're in this case here, Jeff. Looks like you're going to take us home with some potential money. How you getting paid?
Yeah, we got this bantamweight bout with Elijah Smith and Toshimi Kazuma. I think this is going to be a pretty exciting fight. You got Kazuma, 28 years old. He's a Japanese fighter who fights BJJ style. He's 11-4 as a pro. He's coming in after a performance of the night win by a round 2 triangle choke, which was pretty solid against Gregorio. That also gave him his first UFC win. The guy doesn't have a whole lot of UFC experience or fighting against the better class of fighters. Prior to that performance of the night win, he did have back-to-back round 1 KO losses, potentially has some chin issues. We'll see. He was ripping it up in some of the regional smaller promotions, and then he gets to the UFC. He's 1-2. Again, not a terrible fighter in my opinion. He's typically a grappler. He doesn't mind spending time on his back, hence the BJJ style. He doesn't have a whole lot of punching power. He's got 3 KO wins, but again, against some regional opponents, he just doesn't seem to have a lot of the striking. He again much prefer to stay on his back. He's certainly going to want to get this one to the ground, in my opinion. Over half his wins have come by submission, so he's certainly dangerous on the ground. He might have a hard time against Elijah Smith here. Smith on the other side of things, he's got the slight height and very slight reach advantage. He's sitting at 8-1 as a pro with a 1-0 UFC record. He came in after a great performance against a much more experienced Vince Morales back in February. I say, much more experience. Morales has been around for a long time, and Smith ended up getting the unanimous decision win. So, I mean, he dominated. I don't say dominated. He performed well enough that he impressed the judges to get the unam win. This kid's just 22 years old. He's shown the speed. He can get in and out. He can certainly get takedowns, hence his speed. He's got power. Look at all his KOs he's got. He's got grappling ability. And like I said, the ability to take opponents down using his speed. He throws a decent volume of strikes, and he lands just under, as you see on the screen there, 41%. So his striking's pretty decent. And again, with the power behind it, he's certainly going to wait for those. He'll throw the jab out there and wait for that connection on the other hand. And that 1-2 of his is pretty badass. This is the kind of fighter that the UFC does want to see. The striking that he possesses. They want to see this action. They want to see these KOs. They want to see the ability to take guys down and get up. They don't want to see the just drop them down to the ground and lay on them. I think this fight might bring a lot more attention to him than he already has at this point. But either way, I see this being a pretty fast fight right off the gate for as long as it lasts anyways. I see Kazuma looking to get this to the ground, but I think Smith's going to use his power and speed to prevent the takedowns. And ultimately, I see Smith throwing a jab or two, and then, like I said, connecting with a solid shot right on Kazuma's chin. Smith should be Smith should coast to victory in this one as a -700 favorite. I think personally he's going to get this one done in round 1, and I think he's going to get it done by KO in round 1. So I'm taking this -700, and I'm going to shoot Smith KO round 1 at +175. Let's go, Smith. Knock his head off. Mike's bringing us to the Johns Matsumoto fight. I think that's the second one on the main card. Mike, what are you going with in this?
Absolutely, Jeff. Johns Matsumoto going to be an interesting bantamweight fight. And look, early splits, they love this favorite here in John Matsumoto. 72% of the money looks early action identifying coming in on this guy. And I guess at first I can kind of get it. He's the younger fighter. You look at his pedigree, kind of the thing I look for. He's in the developmental programs in the LFA, right? He goes from LFA to Dana White Contender Series. goes out there and gets himself a win, gets himself the opportunity to move forward in his UFC career. And, he goes out, he takes out Dan Argueta, got a nice little submission guillotine, takes Brad Katona. Now, as the competition gets more fierce, starts getting a little longer, gets a decision. It's a UNAM decision 9 months ago. 5 months ago, he takes on Rob Font, and he takes that split decision loss. More or less what happened in that spot was he took a late clip, got a little blood on him, and kind of swayed some of those judges' scorecards. And I think when we look at Vegas, what they don't want to see is they don't want to see a lot of wrestling. They want to see a lot of grapple or a lot of, striking, right? We talk about violence. They want to see action. I don't know if submission might be fine, but at the end of the day, you're going to want to stand and bang. And I think that's something that the Muay Thai guy here does in Matsumoto. I just get frustrated with that Muay Thai. It's that chop the tree. You're just constantly working those legs. And I guess you're successful if you can get the guy off kilter. On the flip side of things, though, when you look at Miles Johns, Chapo, it's going to chap a lot of people up this week when they start to fade him, because you look at his most recent fight, Felipe Lima takes a UNAM decision loss. And if you look back at his pedigree, yeah, he's definitely, he almost falls outside of that 7-year window that we certainly don't want to be a part of. But he fights better at 135, not 145. And if you look at that Felipe Lima spot, that's exactly where he was positioned to be. And I think this is one of those spots where, yeah, he's got to take a little bit more weight cut, but when he fights down at 135, he wins. Again, the eye, if you just look at it really quick, you see that loss, you say, man, that was ugly, and they're both coming off a loss, and this guy's younger, so I'll take him. But you can't discount that. And I think this is one of those spots where we probably see these guys go deep. They probably both exhibit decent cardio. The problem I have with Johns is he's kind of an idiot. He's got that wrestling background, and I mentioned the judges aren't going to want to necessarily see that at the apex, but he's powerful. When he swings to find the button, and I think that's where the damage meter can come into play. And Matsumoto has clearly shown that he can wear some damage, and I think that's what Johns does to him here. I think the wrong guy is in the favor position in this case. I think we got a situation where we're going to take a big dog in Johns at plus 260. I think it goes deep. They both should have decent cardio when it comes down to it, but I think when it comes to showing the blood, I think that's going to be a spot where Matsumoto likes to be aggressive. He throws a lot of punches, but look at his, you look at his absorption rate. He almost takes more punches in than he gives out. And that's a bad combination when you're looking at a potential decision situation. I like Johns. I think Johns by decision is a really good look. Johns probably by split decision. It's going to be a tight fight. I think it's an evenly matched battle, but at plus 260, I'm going to take a shot with Johns here in the dog roll and see if we can't make a big score.
Do you own a Honda, Hyundai, Mazda, Toyota, or Nissan? Upgrade to a new Kia with unbeatable savings. Plus, additional $500 toward your trade-in just for switching. Only at Finley Kia, Las Vegas.
We're going to go on to Subhuman Gaucho. He's going to try to give us a big score, and he's going right to the big event, the final showcase. And it's Subhuman Gaucho breaking it down for us.
Well, good stuff, boys. I've got some similar reads on those fights, so nice to see we are all aligning pretty well. So main event time, and then we can turn our attention to the Dana White Contender Series, hopefully after a big win here. So, Fluffy main event, 5-rounder. This is usually a great Fluffy spot, and he's been on a great run. Everybody loves Fluffy. He's, just the craziest motor outside of maybe Merab Dvalishvili. Probably not quite as talented as Merab, but then again, it's hard to keep up with a motor like his, especially at this middleweight weight class where just about everybody slows down in 3-round fights, let alone 5-round fights. So, if this one goes deep, you got to think there's a pretty good chance that Fluffy Hernandez is going to win 3, 4, 5, certainly above 50%. On the other hand, I think this is a tough matchup for Fluffy. I think this is probably his toughest matchup that he's seen in the UFC, just style-wise. Roman Dolidze, not a great striker, but the guy's he throws bricks, man. He's got some real power on the feet, and Fluffy, especially early in fights, he's kind of a slow starter. I think he will get touched up here a bit, and his durability not great, especially the body. And some of Dolidze's best weapons on the feet are his knees to the body. We've seen him in fights against other grapplers, such as Kyle Dawkins, with those knees. But the grappling here is going to be really interesting, especially early while Dolidze is fresh. We saw Dolidze in other 5-round fights where he did slow down immensely. I'm thinking of like the Imavov fight in particular. But he's not a punk. He's not just going to give up or fold or throw in the towel. He will keep fighting, even if he's going to slow down. So, I think just as Fluffy's likely to win 3, 4, 5, I think that Roman Dolidze has everything he needs to win 1 and 2, and quite possibly to win in rounds 1 or 2. This is definitely, I think, the hardest BJJ matchup that Fluffy has seen so far, and that's saying a lot because he is a guy that fought and even beat Rodolfo Vieira. Extremely impressive win. Rodolfo, very, very accomplished BJJ player. But you go back and watch that fight. I mean, Rodolfo's having a ton of success. He's mounting Fluffy. He's, kind of big brothering him early before he just completely death gasses. Dolidze has a bit of a different BJJ game. Maybe not as accomplished as Rodolfo Vieira, but I think Roman Dolidze has the nastiest guard at this weight class. And he's going to have to use it for sure in this fight, because I think if this goes late, he is going to be taken down an awful lot. And perhaps, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez can just rinse and repeat and run him through the spin cycle. It's certainly plausible, but at close to 3-1, I think Dolidze is extremely live in this match. And I tell you what, I am not taking Fluffy at that sort of a number, especially when he's a guy that often drops early rounds and early minutes in fights. But Fluffy, he's going to put that guard to work. He's a guy that will drop for leg locks, and people, they kind of get Fluffy a little bit mixed up because he's not a great BJJ guy. He's a guy that really wears people out, and as I said, he has just this legendary motor. But when you speak in terms of who's the better BJJ player, it's Roman Dolidze, and it's really not even close. So, yeah, give me a Roman Dolidze plus 280. I think this is probably the best we're going to see all week. It got to plus 310 at one point. I was able to get in at plus 285 the other day, but I expect we will see some big sharp action on Dolidze at one point, even if everybody's going to be parlaying up the main event favorite and taking those 3, 4, 5 props, which I can't really talk anybody off of. It's a kind of a great system bet with Fluffy, but in the end, give me the dog here. I think Roman's gonna shock some people this weekend. All right. Until then, best of luck, everybody.
Great job, gentlemen. Thank you guys all for checking this out. You'll see the recap on the side with Smith KO round 1, Johns, Dolidze, big battles, big price tags. Don't forget to consider the parlay, putting all 3 of these together, because it's going to be a monster score. We're going to have a monster Saturday. We've got all kinds of fun sports going on. Early start means a relatively early finish. So plan ahead, get ready. Make sure you leave a comment in the post after the video. Tell us your favorite fight of the night. Tell us if you're going to tail. Tell us if you're going to fade. But make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Good luck with your betting. Follow MMA Jeff 19 on X. Follow my guy Subhuman Gaucho on X. And you can follow me at PimpSlapPOD. Until next time, good luck, good betting. Let's see some violence this weekend. Good luck, everybody.
team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Thursday, August 7th. We've got a light card today, but we've got action in different sports. Hope you enjoyed. First strike with the guys getting ready. We'll be with you here on Saturday for our coverage of UFC Fight Night with Dolidze and Hernandez. You heard breaking it down there for the main event there on Friday night. And make sure you join us for our companion coverage here on Saturday. Hello to everyone. Thank you for coming in to the show here. We've got 4 games in Major League Baseball on Thursday. We've got 3 games in the NFL preseason tonight, 3 in the WNBA. We'll take a look maybe at the CFL game as well. They're underway at the FedEx Cup Championships today in Memphis with the FedEx Cup underway. We do see some scores out there, and they're getting a few birdies here, but just really getting started. So you could also check out, we had the golf preview yesterday, of course, or for a couple days out here, and you could probably still get involved in the tournament today. They're really just on the first couple of holes. So it should be a fun weekend of sports betting action here. We got a couple of finals in tennis today as well. They're really getting underway in Cincinnati here today, but we have 2 finals as well today with Kachanov and Shelton on the men's side in Toronto, and in Montreal, a hot one tonight with Victoria Mboko and Naomi Osaka at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. That should be a good one on the hard courts in Montreal today. Let me say hello to some folks in the chat. Then we'll get the show started. Won't be with you for too long here, it feels like today. So maybe just a little bit of respite. Bobby Mack is here to get it rolling today. Jimmy as well. Mikey's in the chat. Thank you, Mikey. Great show, you guys. Previewing the action. You can also check out VB MMA picks here this week for more action here in the UFC. Check out my show with VB here. We'll maybe take a look at it tomorrow before the show. We'll start a little earlier. That's about a 45-minute show. So if you want to check it out, though, in the meantime or live in the YouTube, go over to Sports Money channel, and you can get it under the videos tab. But we all preview of a few more fights in there as well with Lucindo and Hill, with Feely and Rodriguez. All right, and let's keep it rolling here with the chat because we're about ready to get underway with some of the action for sure. Andrew K. is here today making some great calls. Nate Cerna on a Thursday. Vitalis doing a great job with us here in the chat for sure. Maybe we'll get him this week on the air. Blue is here, NYC Bar. Thank you. AOD as well here today. Cinna Figure It Out. It's ready to roll. Fernando, good morning. Jimmy Lambo, ready to talk a little sports with us. And could it be the end of the baseball season? See what else we got going here, and gonna get ready here and go with the show. Thank you for all the comments in the chat. from the regulars here right now. Trevor Davis as well here. Hey, you can get my best picks today over at winnable.com/Ramon. We had some pretty good picks there yesterday for sure on the card with our big Wednesday of betting action here. Let's take a look at some of the action that occurred yesterday and go over some of the winners. We got some time today with just about 10 games to preview. San Francisco and Pittsburgh, we did have our sports money premium pick was on the under in that one with starting pitchers Ray and Haney. It did stay under yesterday for 2. The Giants got the win in that one. Remember, we had mostly a day card there yesterday. We got a couple of day games today, including one that goes off here in just about 2.5 hours. But in that one, Dom Smith, RBI double in the 9th inning. San Francisco still lost 14 of their last 20 games overall. We did have a high roller premium over at Tony's with the under in the game between Baltimore and Philly yesterday. The Orioles win it 5-1. Kobe Mayo, how about it? 3-run home run with little Mayo on there. Trevor Rogers, man, 10 starts now, 1.44 ERA, resurgent Trevor Rogers. Philly still lead the East by 2.5 games currently with that 65-49 record. We had a sports money premium winner, Minnesota and Detroit game to go over as Minnesota pounded yesterday 9-4 in that one. Minnesota, 6 home runs in the game total. Tigers have dropped 15 of 22. Look out. We did have Minnesota on the run line yesterday. I think Mikey Money did too. There with the Twins with his sports money premiums in that one. I had a premium pick winner with Cleveland. Gavin Williams winning at 4-1. Over the New York Mets yesterday as David Fry, Anthony Martinez hit home runs, and the Mets have lost 8 of 9. We did have the under here on the morning show as well. We did have some winners for sure yesterday. Pretty good day, but we had the under in the 4-1 win. Also, had a winner there. Hopefully you caught me on the Cover the Spread show yesterday where we had the under in the game between the Reds and the Cubs. I called for the under in that one with Abbott and Horton in that one, and it was 6-1. The Cubs winning. Seiya Suzuki, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, all with homers there in that one for the Cubs. Also, we had a winner here on the show with the Yankees and Rangers game to go under. Paul Goldschmidt's pinch hit home run, the 7th inning, proved to be the difference as Mark Leiter in there. Interesting, right? It wasn't Mark Leiter got the win in relief. His cousin, Jack Leiter, started the game for Texas and threw 3 1/3 innings, but it was the New York Mets holding on right now. They're in the picture. They're in the wild card slot right now as of today, and we've got ways to go, but like to keep up certainly on that. Yankees snapped a 5-game losing streak in that one. We had a premium pick winner, Toronto, yesterday. Who didn't? In that one, it was just 20-1 for Toronto as the Rockies gave up 54 runs in the 4-game series there to Toronto this week. Did we have the over? Yeah, we had the over here on the Morning Steam show. We also had a high roller winner with the Tampa Bay Rays over the Angels yesterday as the Rays get the win over the Halos. Caminero, solo home run, a 2-run home run. He was a big difference. Chris Morel, home run as well. Trouty hit that 3-run shot to tie the game, 4-4, and then it was 4-4 until the Rays got that 5th run in the win. We had also on the show yesterday the Cardinals over the Dodgers on the run line, at least, as the Cardinals win it 5-3 and take down Shohei Ohtani despite 8 strikeouts. Okay, his arm was cramping. He's fine here, it looks like. Went the 4 innings there. So great job, Liberatore. and the Cardinals getting that win over the Dodgers yesterday. Brock Stewart, Alex Vesia in there. Vesia took the loss, my guy. 2 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits. Ohtani also had a 2-run home run in that game. It was kind of a wasted outing with that pitching effort. Lance Nutbar with an RBI double in the 9th inning there for the Cardinals to put it away. And we did have another premium pick winner with Houston and Miami game to go over in the 6-4 win for Miami yesterday. Graham Pauley home run for the Marlins, and they won it. We also had them on the show here yesterday. We took Miami over Houston yesterday. Now, late night card, can't really rattle off as many wins, to tell you the truth. We did have a couple of L's on the late night card, but hey, I did have the Brewers over on the Cover the Spread show with Quintana. So don't want to lay off these hot Brewers right now. They're taking on all comers. They're a 70 and 44. Andrew Vaughn home run in that one for Milwaukee. And Vaughn, last 12 games, 16 RBIs, 433 batting average. Brewers, they've just won 6 in a row again here. Getting off to a great start in the day, aren't we here? Also, we did have a premium pick, at least with the Padres. I laid a couple of favorites, so the light card was not profitable at 1-1, but Padres were able to get the win, maybe more importantly for me, with Nestor Cortez on the mound. Typical Nestor, 4 2/3 innings, gave 2 runs, 6 base runners. The Padres came through there. Xander Bogaerts for the home run there, and Ryan O'Hearn, solo home run in the 9th inning to tie it. The new Padres have been hot, including Ramon Laureano as well. Iglesias, RBI single in the 9th inning. Padre new catcher, Freddie Fermin, just 3 hits. Mason Miller got the save in that one. DeSclafani did look pretty good there, 4 1/3 innings, no runs, 3 hits there. And late night we did sweep it with Seattle. Had that over there on the Cover the Spread show with Kirby. Did get that run line victory. Does seem like a mismatch in this series this weekend. This week with Seattle dumping the White Sox there. Yesterday, Julio Rodriguez, 3-run home run. Josh Naylor, 2-run home run, the new Mariner. And we did have the over in that one as well. All right, WNBA last night. I whiffed on that one, trying to go with the Valkyries. They couldn't get the money there. Early bettors may have gotten the money with the Valkyries. It was Aces that won it by 6 as a 5.5-point favorite. So I kind of whipped on that one. But, hey, overnight, I brought you some winners here with our sports money premiums. Hopefully you're on board with me for the overnight action. Had some nice winners here. 2-1 in my overnight Asian baseball. Split my NPB plays, 1 in the KBO. We cleaned up in the card there with the VIP. We just went VIP last night in NRL and AFL action, but swept those. Melbourne, hey, if I would have known that Melbourne was going to crush Brisbane last night in the NRL, I mean, we did just say lay the money line. I was a little worried, but they won it by 20. And Hawthorn, man, did they destroy Collingwood there yesterday. But, hey, head on over there if you want. My VIP picks are out for golf. We saw the golf yesterday from the guys, but you want to get my picks over at winnable.com. They're free this week, and like I said, the tournament has just started. My golf's always for free right here on Sports Money, but my picks are up there as well, and you can check us out over at winnable.com. So check out the guys, check me out over there at Winnable. You can still get hooked up with my plays here on Thursday for the golf as they are just underway, and let's take a look.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, there we go. Move the UFC stuff back there and check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get the plays there for the action here on Thursday with my premium picks over at winnable.com. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. You get the free subscriptions as well. But hey, for just 50 cents a day, get some great plays. I certainly am having a pretty good run right now, for sure. And especially in baseball. I know a lot of people don't like baseball. We're here for football now, but I've been pretty hot for sure. And hey, hopefully you caught me there on the happy hour yesterday. Don't forget, check me out on the happy hour over on that Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I gave out in Boco there. I said to take her on the game spread yesterday, plus 3.5 over Rabakana. But she got it done with an impressive victory. And, man, there'll be a great match tonight with Naomi Osaka. I'll say hello to a few more folks in the chat, and then we'll get started with our show. Like I said, we got a lot going on here today. So we're just talking here and going over the results. But we do have some games here to go over. Robert had a good day there yesterday, and Jimmy says, how about, am I into fantasy football? I love daily fantasy football, but I'm in Las Vegas now for the last 3 seasons, and man, I miss daily fantasy. I know California's kind of having some issues with the legality of it. We'll see what happens overall, but I don't play season-long fantasy anymore. Sometimes you get involved and not everybody's fully geared, I guess. I don't know. I just like the daily fantasy now, especially in football. Man, I miss it, though, for sure. And Mikey was involved there, I think, a little bit in the overnight action. Nunya, hello. Hello to Nunya. Nice to see you in there today. Thank you. Dirty Reg, he's here today. He got it with the aces. I think that's what he's saying there last night. And really appreciate it. Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Still, I'm sure it is, even if I just like saying that. And at NYC Bar, the game was crazy with the Blue Jays there with 20 runs last night. All right, let's get into the action here for today. Man, we only have a few games, so just maximizing my time with you folks here today. We got 4. Here we go. And started off with our early game at 12 Eastern and 9 Pacific with the Athletics taking on the Nationals here. And we didn't really touch too much on the game yesterday with the A's in Washington. I couldn't hit them all, so I kind of skipped this one because Washington was able to get the win yesterday, 2-1. What, they play that game in a pressure cooker or something? The balls weren't taken off like they have been with the A's and Washington as Cavalli came up big. This guy shows up off of the minor league list with a 7 ERA and hadn't pitched in the major leagues in 3 years and ended up tossing a pretty good game. So maybe we got something here with Cavalli and the Nats. He gets a chance there anyway to make a splash. But in this one today with Lopez taking on Mitchell Parker's definitely back struggling here a little bit right now, maybe hitting the wall a little bit, and we'll see. It was the A's who've still been hot. I think that's fair to say, but the Nationals were able to pick up the win there yesterday. I mean, these teams are pretty much equally not profitable. Nats are down 13 3/4 units this season. The A's, they are down 11 units this season still. with these poor records. The A's are a little bit better than Washington, but they're on the road here. Lopez, 4-6, with a 3.99 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, 238 batting average against, a 3.05 BABIP. For Mitchell Parker here, he's 7-11. Always open with a 5.35 ERA, 1.47 WHIP, 277 batting average against, and a 300 BABIP. Series tied here at 3 as we get ready to go on a Friday. For the A's here, they still have won 8 of their last 12 coming into this one, although they have lost 6 of their last 7 against the Nationals in Washington over the last few seasons for sure, interleague games, so didn't play here until 2 years ago. Washington's lost 6 of their last 7 coming in, struggling at home as well, but 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Washington's gone over in 6 of their last 7. The A's have gone under in 6 of their last 8 games. Let's go to the chat, shall we, and see what you have here with the Athletics taking on Washington. Hey, we're just grateful to have an early game today, even though we know we're going with our preseason football and baseball. We're going to stop talking about some of these games here when we get those heavy schedules on the weekend. Probably skip a game like this, but not today. This is like a marquee matchup. Here we go with some of the picks here from the chat on this one. Andrew, Brewers are relentless. Here's Oakland. Oakland, hey, they're Oakland today. We'll call them Oakland here. A's run line for blue. And Doge is ready to go with my Hamilton Tiger Cats tonight. I'm liking this Hamilton team. Just not saying they're giving a pick away. I'm just saying I like Hamilton this year and just kind of rooting for them, rooting for my guy, Isaiah Wooden. He might have a big game tonight. What is a Tiger Cat, says Blue. Tonight we got basically Cats and the Lions tonight. And let's see here. Bobby Mack says A's first half here. All right. And JPZ. Oh, JPZ, nice to see you. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for just stopping by. Hope everything is okay. I know you're busy. Really appreciate seeing you in the chat today. And thank you, of course, for everything you've done for us. And Andrew K says, Parker, easy money, go under in his outs here today. Maybe the A's will knock him out before 6 innings. 9 Legacy says, Nationals on the money line. Cash Kane is here today. And thanks to everyone in the chat actually right now with our algorithm telling us that the number 1 poster so far is NYC Bar, AOD, Blue, Sit Figure It Out, Jimmy Lambeau, Andrew K, Bobby Mack, Nunya, Dirty Red, Shan, PZ gets the number 10 spot with that comment. Make sure you make a comment in the chat if you want to be eligible to win some free sports money picks from me here at the end of the show. Appreciate you guys have won. Not everyone has signed up. I guess I don't want the free picks. Don't you just want to know at least who I'm on? Those who have won and not signed up? Not like I'm forcing you to bet them. I just want you to know who Ramon is on with his premium picks. You get a free subscription. All right, a little bit of steam coming in here right now with one of our games today in the W, and it's Indiana and Phoenix. The steam is coming in on the under here right now at 170-ish. Let's see what it is at right now. I know it went up, it kept going up, and now it's being taken back down here to it went all the way up to 173. Now we're back to 171.5. We're seeing a lot of movement right now on the WNBA board here at this point. Interesting moves here actually this morning. Cover those games here in just a bit. All right. Andrew K says, the Nats are running low on pitching, and you'll see guys kind of go extended here a little bit, right? NYC Bar wants the subscriptions. Buy back. I probably owe them a month in there. Oh, yeah. NYC Bar did win yesterday. That's right. NYC Bar used the promo code winner. You won. You did win it. That's right. All right. Hey, well, I better make my call here in this one between the Athletics and Washington here today. And you know what? I'm going to bend up on the under here in this game with Detroit and Washington, or with the Athletics and Washington. Wasn't very many picks from the chat. Maybe we're still dealing with a pretty crummy game. I get it. Okay, but I'm on the under 9 in that one.
System play.
All right, and I'll keep the action moving here. Just taking my time here on a Thursday. The White Sox are on the road taking on the Mariners. Hey, these games have some importance for sure for teams like Seattle at this point, given the current standings here, especially with the Mariners in that wild card hunt. But they're also chasing down Houston here. But Mariners are a game up right now on the Yankees. They trail Boston pretty much 5th in the standings here currently. The White Sox, we talked about this kind of being their best stretch of the season, but against the Mariners here, it does feel like they're against a team that feels pretty motivated. I know the White Sox were able to get a little bit of action there yesterday late and try to come back, but the Mariners seem to pound them pretty good. For Logan Gilbert here, he's 3-4 in 15 starts with a 3.56 ERA, but a .99 WHIP, 205 batting average against, pretty solid here despite that just 3 wins. Seattle is 10-5 with Logan Gilbert on the mound this season. For Smith here, he's 3-7 with a 4.25 ERA. The White Sox are 5-14 with Smith on the mound. 1.3 WHIP, but a 229 batting average against isn't woeful, and a 275 BABIP. Let's see what you have here in this one with the White Sox and the Twins here on Thursday. Like I said, the White Sox, they've lost 7 of their last 8 games against Seattle overall. Seattle comes in having won 5 of their last 6 here right now. White Sox have dropped 6 of the last 7 actually in here at Seattle. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone over. The White Sox have gone over in 8 of their last 11 games on the road and 5 of their last 6 games overall. Seattle's gone over in 4 of their last 5, but you have Gilbert here. It feels like he might have a distinct advantage, it feels like, over this lineup. Can I interest anybody in the White Sox today, maybe on the run line? I don't even know if I can here today in this matchup. It feels like I still want to just lay it with Seattle. It's a pretty light card, and, maybe you want to consider the White Sox can get out of here with a win or maybe a close game, but even I'm not sure I can do it. I'll probably just go with a run line favorite here in this game. All right. Andrew K says, watch out today. This one could be an over with the Athletics and Washington. Let's see here. And Cinna figured out today. He's talking with the action here with the Colts and the Ravens there. We'll preview some of the games. I think I'm looking here. There's Mariners for NYC Bar. I think I'll be a little bit on an island in the football. I don't know. Let's see here. AI had the White Sox. AI. Which is your favorite AI, you guys? Are you guys into AI? Do you do Gemini? Do you do the Grok? what are the other ones? I don't even know them all, but I really, I know you can search things too, but I don't mind AI. It's just that sometimes in sport, don't do your sports too much on AI. I mean, I don't know. Don't trust AI for or at least that AI. If you got a program with sports betting, handicapping, that might be something. But just don't go into like Gemini and say who's going to win, because the thing will come back telling you about games from 5 years ago and have the wrong stats and stuff. Okay, Mariners money line for blue here. And but it is good for something. T-Bird in the chat as well. I tell you one thing I do is I'll say, I don't want to miss anything. I'll say, what are the top sports headlines? And, and it gives them to you. And I'll be saying, oh, I better put that in my show. Okay, I'm taking the Mariners here. I can't find one way to get on right now. The Mariners, they need wins. They found a team that they handle pretty well, and I think they've got a pretty distinct matchup here. Look, we've talked about Smith this season. The numbers haven't been awful, but in this one, I'm still gonna roll here with the Mariners on the run line. All right, maybe we're square here today, but with 4 games, just pick and choose. Next up, the Reds are on the road taking on the Pirates, and Paul Skeens Day here. But you got Brady Singer, who's been okay, and we know the Reds have been pretty good for sure right now and looking good. We start off a new series here, right, with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Cincinnati coming off the loss to the Cubs yesterday as Horton handled them pretty good there and kept the Reds at bay, and the Reds couldn't really score any runs to get it going there as the Cubs got the confident victory there yesterday. As far as the Bucks were concerned, let's take a look at this one. The Bucks yesterday lost that game, of course, as we talked about, to the Giants. For Brady Singer here, 9-8 record. 4.36 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 246 batting average against, a 298 BABIP. Paul Skeens, he's 6-8. He does not have as good a record as Brady Singer. 2.02 ERA, 0.92 WHIP, 187 batting average against, a 256 BABIP. It, is a bit of a pitching mismatch, I guess, but the Reds are still playing pretty well. I'm not going to fret too much on yesterday's game. The Reds still playing well, but you know what? So's Pittsburgh. They've won 10 of their last 15 games coming into this one. And look, they're going to be a big favorite here. It is down to $1.65 or so. I should have updated the line on the Mariners game here. I see they were $2.70 now, but maybe I'll call it $1.70. I see some prices still a little bit higher here, and 7 over 20 maybe here in this one with the Reds. And Pirates, you guys are already go a little bit in the chat here in this one. So, Cincinnati has gone under in 5 straight meetings with Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh's gone under in 5 of their last 7 at home. The Reds have gone under in 5 straight, and they've also gone under in 7 of their last 8 games on the road. Pittsburgh has gone over in 5 of their last 6. It's just they've been going under at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in Pittsburgh have gone under as well. Let's see how you're playing it today with the Reds and the Bucks here in Pittsburgh. And we know, the Reds are doing a nice job. This isn't a game necessarily to just call it non-contending. The Reds are the team just outside the wild card right now, 3 games back of the New York Mets. So they got to feel like they're in it. This Reds team has done a nice job. 5 games over 500 right now. Pittsburgh, they're not going to catch anybody. So you have another one of those things where it's been right to go against Paul Skeens for sure with his 11-12 record. And for the most part, he's pretty much always a favorite unless he's up against another marquee pitcher and he's on the road, or maybe another first line starter. Guess maybe he's been a little bit of a even pick or something, but he's usually favored. He just doesn't get it done. Not Skeens, he gets it done, but the Bucks don't seem to support him. They average just 3.5 runs per game. The Reds average 4.5 runs per game. Okay, here, let's see. Yes, and I figured out, says you can't take the White Sox in this one right now, right? And Vitalis says he likes the under in that White Sox Seattle game. Gosh, those Seattle, and I will say, now this is a night game here with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, but that Seattle game is a 110 start. Now, Seattle games do play a little bit more of the under at night. We know that, but in general, they always play under, huh? Flea Math is here as well. Blues on the Reds. And Cinna figured out, says I don't think he's overrated. I just think that he doesn't get the run support that he deserves. I mean, the numbers are still very, very solid. I mean, we know they're off the charts. They're terrific. I don't think he's overrated. I just think, he's on the Pirates, and that's just too bad. Pirates here, money line for NYC Bar. And let's see here. Reds first 5 under in the parlay here. NYC Bar, just go to winnable.com/Ramon, and when you get to the registration portion of just use the promo code WINNER. There's a little place for promo code. You type in WINNER, it's going to give you 1 month free subscription. Should work out pretty good. And really appreciate you. I said how much he deserved. Anything I could give him. It says we could never hit those parlays, right? 9 Legacy says Mariners money line, Mariners total over, and Cincinnati on the money line. Vitalis says you got a Singer kind of goes under for sure right now. Wind blowing in. Take the under in this one. Yep, that's it. Blue said it. Hey, there's some steam coming in right now in the game between Connecticut and Los Angeles. I was already, if you checked out the WNBA 2-3 zone show, I was already on the under in that game. That was my pick there. But the steam's coming in on the under right now in the game between Connecticut and Los Angeles tonight. It's down to 174 here, it looks like. It had been going up a little bit. That's pretty much the regular line. Says some steam's coming in, but I don't really see it too heavy. But I was already on the under. I may just go give it out again if it gets too low here. All right. And by the way, Angel Reese will miss another game tonight. Her 4th straight game for the league's leading rebounder. All right. Robert's going over there, but Andrew's going under. And Justin's here today. Thank you. My partner there. Nephew in the WNBA show with Justin, Ron Crawford, and I. So go check that out over on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We previewed the 3 games tonight in the WNBA. We'll take a look at them here. Justin's got the Reds just on the money line here. Why not? Skeens here. Vitalis says he's got a FIP there. Got his FIP going. And let's see, Dustin May fade there. Yeah, you know what? I'm not too, I hope it works out for Dustin May in Boston, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But, man, should have had Kansas City last night. Great pick. I know a lot of cappers were on Kansas City, and I wasn't. And kind of regret that. All right, so I figured out it's like in that WNBA and Aces under there for Blue. Hey, I'll make my call here in this one with the Reds. I got to take the Reds at least here. I'll probably just take them on the run line today. Maybe Skeens deals a little bit here, but I don't think the price is too bad on the Reds. Oh, it's $1.50 here. I'll take them here today plus a 1.5. short card. So give me the Reds minus $1.50 on the run line. One last game in the major leagues. That's all we can do. And it's going to be the Miami Marlins taking on the Braves in this one. Yuri Perez on the mound here for the Marlins, and Hector Carrasco for the Braves. You got Carrasco here. It's going to be a dog with the Marlins playing pretty well here. They're on the road in this one. And where's the there we go. And that's a little bit of a shift, I think. Let me see what the original line was. I mean, not shift to favorites here, I don't think, right? With Miami favorite in this one, $1.20 in the total now, mostly 8.5 flat. Feels like. Let's talk about the pitchers here. Yuri Perez. I've talked about how much I like Perez since he's been on the beat back here again. 10 starts. 2.7 ERA, 0.94 whip, 166 batting average against. These are solid numbers, and the Miami team playing very, very well here right now. Despite, they can't win them all, but one of the hotter teams in the league for sure of late. Man, they're really taking care of some foes here of late. For the Marlins here, they've won 15 of their last 20 games on the road. They've won 6 of their last 8 overall. Atlanta's dropped 5 straight games at home. They also gone 1-4 in their last 5 games overall. 12 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone under. 8 of the last 9 between these two teams have gone under on the road, but I know with Carrasco pitching, everyone kind of wants to maybe fade him a little bit, or at least think that he could give it up here. We saw yesterday, of course, a Miami confident win there, beating up on Houston, which was important because Miami was so hot. Houston was not. Houston came in. They took the series 2-1, but Miami did win the 3rd game, so I think that bodes well for their confidence. It was unfortunate. They were coming with a lot of momentum. They were even starting to talk a little playoff possibility there. Houston said, not so fast, my friend, because we are the team in first place in our division, and they took them out there the first 2 games, but Miami was able to come back. Come back, as far as getting that last game. Houston right now, they're in the standings game. What is it, 3 games right now? Three games. 3-game lead over Seattle, yeah. Okay, for Perez, for Carrasco, 5.68 ERA, 1.52 whip, 7 starts here, and he's on the Braves now. Hey, they are an underdog. That could interest you, getting these Braves as an underdog right now. But the Braves. Hey, if you bet on them every game, you're down 46 units this season. It's been, I think, one of the worst worst campaigns here. It feels like right now with the Braves. Terrible season. Marlins are up 13 units coming in. So let's see what you have here. At least they're at home. Let's go to the chat maybe here in this one and see what you have. Miami's gone over in 5 of their last 6. Atlanta's gone over in 13 of their last 20. I think that maybe there will be some runs here after all. Here comes some of the moves from the chat. This is the last baseball game, man. Oldie's here. Thank you. Nice to see Oldie in the chat. NYC Bar is on the Braves money line. Here's Blue on the Marlins running line. Oldie will be at the game tonight. Feels like a pretty good game. We know the Braves aren't going to get it together. Here's NYC Bar, though. He'll take the Braves here. And Mitch Morber in the chat. How about that? He says, how about these Guardians right now? playing pretty well. Do they have a chance to get something done? Can they work their way here into the contention? Look, I mean, you got to chase down. It feels like here, Seattle's starting to play pretty well again. Those are 3 tough teams ahead of them, but you got to like the Guardians and consistent pitching. Bullpen's okay, it feels like. Got to give the Guardians a chance for Mitch. All right, here. And Vitalis ready to go with some NFL preseason tonight. Andrew says Perez had a game there in June where he lost to the Braves. So maybe that's a bit of a factor there. Yeah, it was back in June 20th. 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks in that one. So, and you have Carrasco. So maybe there will be some runs here tonight. Man, Miami's so hot, but I'm going to take Miami here in this. Whoa! My pen has dropped, and now I got to do an embarrassing. There we go. I'll take Miami here. Baseball segment's over. I'm on the Marlins tonight just to keep it going. Perez, pretty good, though, actually. And Vitalis says that because Zach Taylor, he's tired of being the worst coach. I think that's what worst coach in the preseason here. And you're taking on an Eagles team. We'll get to it. Okay, Marlins. First 5 for Bobby Mack. He's on the under here. That's the baseball. Just 4 games, man. All right. We can find some other sport. Let's go to the NFL. Let's do the NFL first. We'll get to the WNBA. We miss football so much. So, and you guys are talking about the games already. I feel like I'm going to be maybe with egg on my face tomorrow, but Justin with Baldwin here over in his bases. Braves aren't going to get it together, but can't lose them all, Blue. You got to find the spots where they're going to win a few more games anyway. We know how baseball works. So, maybe, you're looking for a spot. Miami coming off a win at home, but they still need wins, Miami, right? They think they have a chance. 6 out. And Fernando on the Marlins as well. Okay, let's go to the NFL right now. The Colts are taking on the Ravens. These guys already got into a fight 2 days ago, a nice practice fight. So they probably have done a lot of work together. You know what happens when that happens? Sometimes they're not as interested. Now, you do have, we know, now the Harbaugh effect is kind of the John Harbaugh effect has kind of gone out the window the last 2 seasons with Harbaugh just going, 2-4 in the last 2 years. Remember, he had gone 6 straight preseasons without losing. So he has an incredible record of 45-16 and almost nearly the same record against the spread. Only it's quite that good, but it's close. But here, the expectation is the Colts come in with the starters. They have a guy, they have a coach like Steichen. Steichen's 4-2 in the preseason. And look, it's easy to say that maybe the teams here, almost a broad brush with these 3 favorites tonight, expected to kind of play more starters or the starters at least for a little bit. How much do you play starters in a week 1 game? Probably not very long. I know a lot of people are certainly on the Colts here, and well, I guess I get it. All the indications are they'll play better. They'll play starters. They'll be in position to be. You still have a John Harbaugh. The reason why I think some of these coaches and some of these teams play well, I think because the coaches are good a little bit, and they coach up the entire team, right? Back up these better teams a little bit. We know the Ravens are a great organization. what I'm getting at is I don't think I want to lay these points. I know they're going to be popular. They may go out and win this game 20-6 today, bite the Colts. But I'm not sure I'll be laying any points in a preseason game on the road. You'll get some backups in there. This one has a chance to be, I don't know about 30. Is it still 36.5? Yeah, it is 6.5 even now with the Colts. So still preseason games, man. They really sometimes do come down, 3-point game, 6-point game, or whatever. I think most people will be on the Colts. I'm not sure I'm going to be. Blue says, didn't the Ravens lose all three last? I think I have them at 1-2 from last year. Let me look here. Yeah, I think they went 1-2. I've got Harbaugh at 1-2 over last, but remember, great numbers. Could have been a fluke in there all those years, especially right now with the fact the Ravens have dropped them here. NYC says Ravens plus and lean to the over. Andrew, they do know something, Andrew. The Colts are going to come in here with their starting unit. They're expected, like I said, these two teams practiced against one another. And sometimes in those situations when the teams do a joint practice, they go through the motions a little bit in the game, and sometimes the game ends rather quickly, if you know what I mean. Maybe there's no scoring there a little bit, but so you got Anthony Richardson out there, Daniel Jones. You're gonna have two quarterbacks. Two quarterbacks anyway. There we might see some Riley Leonard in there, I think, as well. So the Colts are expected to play these guys here a little bit. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, probably no Lamar Jackson. Maybe he gets in there for a series. But Cooper Rush gets in there for the Ravens. Who was talking Cooper Rush already there in the chat, right? So that's just what I mean. You're still dealing with the Ravens organization here, right? And look, the Colts, everyone feels, you got to feel like Steichen has kind of got this Colts team moving a little bit in the right direction. Yeah, this quarterback situation's a little rugged. We want to see what Baltimore does. Robert likes the under here. Blue likes the under. Trevor's riding with the Colts. And Blue says maybe the Colts first half, right? And I will say this, though. You don't get that standard price here in the first half today a little bit. I think the Colts, they're 6.5 for the game, but they're 4 minus 125 in the first half. They're kind of favoring that a little bit, saying, hey, we know what's going on here too. But I'm sorry. I'm taking the Ravens, especially now at 6.5. Tremaine says Daniel Jones is awful. I'll say Daniel Jones. Now, look, I don't think they're in a quarterback duel. I think Richardson is your man, right? But Tremaine's going over on all the preseason games. Funny, I think I'm going under on all the three. Well, at least today. And today's there. All right, you guys can come in here a little bit more if you want with this one. So that's the deal. That's why Colts are, favored here and moving higher. They're expected. They're so good, put their starters in, and hey, they'll just crush the Ravens, right? I'm going to take the Ravens here plus 6.5. I imagine if I might need a backdoor, I might need a little Cooper Rush action. I don't know that we also by that time I actually could get Devin Leary in the game here by the end of the game, so that might make it a little bit tough. But I'm going to take the points here with the greatest preseason team in NFL. Easy to say, right? Especially when you lost a few games. Where was everybody when that Baltimore Ravens streak was going on? Remember, at one point, Baltimore had won 19 straight preseason games a few years ago, right? Over 6 seasons. John Harbaugh has, in his career, he's been around, he's been coaching this team since 2008, and he's finished undefeated 8 times in the preseason. The Ravens again, John Harbaugh, he's one of those goofball coaches. He's a great coach. You know that. You can make excuses or whatever, but all right. Jimmy says Richardson is awful. Yeah, you still want to give him a chance, it feels like, with that size, with that ability, but yeah, when you're always getting hurt there. I'm taking the Ravens. I get, maybe this is where I want the Ravens here at this point. Like I said, I imagine it's going to be something like 19 to 6 or something, right? They're killing them, and then here comes the backdoor final score 19-13, and Ravens get the money. NYC Bar says they won't roll over. Andrew says was over 20. It may have been. You know what? You might be right, Andrew. It was a couple years ago now. Like I said, they went 2-4, 24 in a row, Andrew. Oh, my God. Harbaugh's win in preseason because they're right, because it's top down, with the Harbaughs. This is what makes them so special. I think as far as coaching is concerned, it's hard to say they're just so great, but I'm biased. I like Jim Harbaugh too. Okay, I'm taking the Ravens. Next up, the Bengals are taking on the Eagles. Same thing here. You can have the Bengals coming in. Joe Burrow, who doesn't play in preseason. This is it. This is the time. Joe Burrow's going to play this game. That's probably going to be it. They said he might play more because, he hasn't played a lot of preseason because he's usually injured. And let's not get him injured here. Look, I don't mind. I mean, don't do it. Don't play him too long. Don't play any of these elite quarterbacks any chance. You don't want to get some weird injury or whatever. But look, the Bengals have a pretty good situation behind Burrow. Burrow's expected to play at least one series, if not a few more. And behind that, you've got Mr. Preseason, Jake Browning, who's been good here in his career doing preseason. Desmond Ridder behind that, the former Bearcat. So I don't know if we'll get down to Peyton Thorne in this one, but the Bengals are expected to be the team to kind of play the regulars a little bit longer, and that's why they are favored by 6 points on the road here against the Eagles, who, look, some teams may not play the regulars. Some teams are the world champs, and you really don't play the regulars here. But we'll see Tanner McKee, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and you can make up all the remember, I mean, hey, Dorian Thompson-Robinson has been a guy we've seen in preseason before, right, to do some things for Philly. And I think I'm in the same boat. This one may be a little bit tougher because you can't make the Harbaugh analogy or the Harbaugh excuse here or the Harbaugh strategy with the Eagles here because now here's the thing. Zach Taylor is the worst coach in the preseason record-wise. Nobody's hey, this guy's a terrible preseason coach. But you guys mentioned it there too. Zach Taylor has gone 0-5 in the preseason over the last 2 years and 3-12 in his career straight up with the Bengals in the preseason. And now they're favored by 6.5. Now, again, the regulars will play for the Bengals even more extended time. This feels like the dry run, the rehearsal here, the full-on rehearsal for the Bengals. And the Eagles, they're just ready to get their campaign going to defend their title. But Sirianni's only 3-7. He doesn't have the little Harbaugh excuse behind him, although he did go 2-1 last year, which was better, his best preseason. He's finished with losses in the preseason for the most part. So let's see what you have in the chat here, though, with the Bengals and Philly here today. Here we go with it. We're not getting too into it. I mean, we could roll off players here, but all right. Let's see. Andrew says the Chargers won last week there. Under maybe in this one for NYC Bar. And Bengals and Eagles. Robert says Eagles here too. I'm on the Eagles. This one feels like a little bit tougher than the last one, but again, I'm getting a touchdown at home in preseason. It's not rocket science. It's not regular season, or I don't know how else to define the handicapping of a. There's randomness, right? I understand they're favored for a reason because of the starters, but and the preseason, by the time you get to the second half, I'm not saying that we can't make educated decisions here in the preseason. That's what preseason is all about, trying to analyze the motivations in comparison to the point spread here. And, hey, a lot of times you just get crummy, low-scoring games that end up being within a touchdown. And even some back doors a little bit. So I'm just taking the Eagles here because they're getting 6 points in a preseason game. And it might be kind of a crude handicap. And that's what a preseason, hey, don't handicap the preseason. Don't bet the preseason. Don't bet the preseason if you don't think you have an edge here. But I'm always probably taking points here in situations like this. Andrew's going under. I'd take all. Like I said, I feel like all 3 under. It's not rocket season. Hey, Timmy Tucci, it's not even rocket season. All right. So that's kind of what the situation is there in that one too. Bengals are expected to win because of this situation. We're going to see Joe Burrow in there. Probably lead them right down the field to a touchdown. You're not only going to be that, you're going to be down 12 points early if he gets the ball first, it feels like. Right? I mean, we've seen Burrow miss preseason, get hurt, right? Now they want to make sure they get a little bit of work in him there. So I'm just taking them at home dog here, Bengals and Eagles. And the final one tonight is probably the most anticipated or talked about here because of the situation. You have the Raiders here with Coach Carroll on the road, 4.5. We're even seeing some 5s here at the sharp books, and the total 37. Are we in the same situation here? Yes. The Raiders are expected to go with the first unit a little bit more here with Geno at quarterback, a former Seahawk. You got Carroll. You got Geno. They're going back to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. You got competent quarterback behind Geno too, and former starter Aiden O'Connell. So you got a good number 2 guy in here. And the Raiders, they got a crummy roster, man. The Raiders they're not good. They're not good. Look, Pete Carroll can certainly make the Raiders an improved team, but the Raiders aren't very good. And there's a reason why Pete Carroll. Now, okay, maybe he overextended his stay. We got Pete out of Seattle. Great run, man. I mean, incredible run from Super Bowl appearances, the playoffs. Pete Carroll, everywhere he goes. He can make the Raiders. Hey, I said Mark Davis couldn't screw up the Raiders to Vegas. Well, I might not be right there, but at least he brings in somebody here who can get the most out of the Raiders, I guess, is what I'm saying with Pete Carroll. But there's a reason why that Pete Carroll has moved on from Seattle, and Geno Smith maybe too. And that is, Seattle's moved on to Mike McDonald, a pretty good coach that a lot of, that most people think are probably one of the better. It's only been 1 year. He went 2-1 the preseason last year, by the way. Pete Carroll is a very strong preseason coach. 28-21 straight up in his career with Seattle, and also 3 undefeated preseasons as well. So pretty good, and his spread numbers are good as well. So, but I don't think the Raiders have a good roster, and I don't care. I mean, I think Seattle, yes, they'll be, kind of on the backups here. You're going to see Milroe. You're going to see Milroe. You're going to see Drew Lock. So that might be the combo you don't want to see, because Darnold, I don't think, is playing at all. But The Raiders have a crummy roster. Seattle, like I said, you think of Carroll's record, those were with Seattle. And if they're getting the points at home again, I'm taking the points. I'm taking, in fact, I think I might go to the total on this one. I don't want to give out 3 totals here. I've got the under in this one with the Raiders and Seattle. I'm going to go with the under as my play. I think I might have a premium here on the Seahawks, actually. Look, I think most people are going to be on the Raiders. I'm the storyline better, right? Kind of. Maybe on these shows, we want to give the best picks possible. But I fancy myself a storyteller. I may have made a few picks on here in accordance to the storyline. The storyline is the Raiders come in with Pete Carroll, with Gino, and their starters, and they beat Seattle. Hey, the 12s come to the preseason games too, and the Raiders have by far the worst roster of these two teams, I think. Here we go. Let's get some of the comments from the chat. I think we had Trevor on the Bengals. NYC Bar took the over. I think it was in that other game. Dave says the Raiders are going to get swept this season by Denver in the regular season. He's a Bo Nix fan. And Pete's going to be chewing that gum tonight. Timmy Two Shoes says, take the first half maybe here. Dave says he likes the Seahawks to rock. Justin's on the Seahawks here. Looks like Robert might be as well. And Timmy says they may be the better backup. Look, I don't know about that, Timmy. I don't know if you're talking about which team actually, but look, I would even say the Raiders with Gino and O'Connell, pretty big advantage actually between Aiden O'Connell and Geno Smith and Milroe and Locke. Although Locke, has had plenty of success. Well, plenty of playing time. Andrew Pete Carroll's a good coach. I think he is still. And look, Pete's the oldest coach too, right? But I think we all can subscribe to the rah-rah a little bit. And you know what? I think rah-rah, I'm not a rah-rah kind of guy when it comes to coaching. I think Pete's rah-rah works because when you're 70, when you're 80 years old, he's not 80, but when you're as old as Pete, it does motivate a little bit with the enthusiasm, right? Running around the field, outrunning your linemen. Robert likes the under here. And Blue says you took Seattle, Ramon. And Andrew K taking the points here, I think. I think that's it. So that's the way I feel about it. I don't know if we've seen it. I know in the preseason we get some spreads at 6 or whatever, but it's kind of weird these first 3 games. I don't know if I've ever seen it, actually. 3 games where you got these road favorites. Yeah, they're playing the starters. Maybe that's where you're supposed to play the starters there a little bit. But the Seahawks are a better team. We know they're a better team. That's too easy. But I think the Raiders are bad. I think the Raiders are bad. Hello, Razor. You know who's good? The Packers. That's who's good. Thank you, Razor. Good to miss you. Hopefully see you soon. But, yeah, so I'm going to take the under, though, in this one between the Raiders and the Seahawks. You can figure out what I'm up to here. I'm not one to – and look, maybe I am the guy usually, right? They're playing the starters. But no, I'm not doing that. At least in these first 3, we'll see moving on. But I'm more interested in taking 6 points. Hey, if it's 24-6, I'll just take my lumps. These are preseason games, and play cautiously if you want. But I'm more interested in these points. That's it for football. Let's go to the WNBA tonight and check out what we got going here with the Dream in the Sky. Did get the word last night, and just mentioned it as well. No Angel Reese again, and but that's okay. You know what? The Sky's been doing a pretty decent job, it feels like, here of late. Not of late, maybe one game, right? In fact, right now, fam, we are. We might be getting the move here actually right now on Seattle in this game against the Raiders today. I'm showing it immediately moving to 4.5 here right now. There is some steam coming in. It was already 4.5 for the most part, but so there were some 5s out there that are getting taken out right now. We're seeing a little bit of a move here reported by the line services, more so maybe in the first half with the Seahawks. Wow. All right, we're in the WNBA though right now with the Dream taking on the Sky here with the Dream favored on the road big time, 10.5. The total is 160. Even higher. I'm seeing some 161.5. This is for a Sky team that we know they have had some big time trouble scoring, but they are 15-12 to the over as a dog. But one of the things has been that they've been really throwing in some big time clunkers as far as the offense is concerned. Now with Ariel Atkins back, it has been a little bit better for sure here of late. But let's see how you have it if you want to play this one with Atlanta coming in. Atlanta's won all 3 meetings so far between the two teams this season, although they went 2-1 against the spread. They're also 9-6 against the spread on the road, are the Dream. They're 10-5 to the over on the road. Now, Brittany Griner is questionable for this game with a neck injury. We know Ryan Howard is out. Maya Caldwell also out of this game. Atkins is back on the injured list, questionable, but I think it's just that same injury, but it's something to consider. And Onyenwere is also, she's probable. She's probable for the game. Okay. Let's maybe hear from you in the chat if you want to play the W with me here today and see how you have it. Man, I'm kind of interested. It got me interested here all of a sudden with that total moving. All right, here we go. Let's go into the chat here now. And Razor says he does not do NFL preseason, but he'll do MLB, and I respect that. But you know me, Razor, I'm going to be playing NFL preseason. I really just love all the personnel battles and everything. Okay, let's see here. Can we get some plays? Here's Justin. So check us out on the 2-3 zone show. But Justin likes the over. He's already got that great price. And we know, like I said, this one's gone up here for sure. And, both teams do kind of trend to the over, like I said, in these roles. Chicago's still 6-10 ATS at home this season. All right. Let's see here. Andrew regaling the Super Bowl tales there. Here's Blue, though. He does like the under. NYC Bar says Dream money line. And Dirty Red says just take the Dream and lay it. Timmy Two Shoes, Dream first half in this one. And Robert likes the over here as well tonight with Atlanta and Chicago. All right. That's going to do it for that one. And let's see here. Might have to save a play here. I might have to save a play in this one is what I feel like. So maybe we can go to some props here, I think. Let me go. I'm going to... kind of now I'm on the record here on the WNBA show with Justin for the side here, so kind of like what I'm seeing right now with the total. So hey, let me go with I'm going to go with Cardoso under 9.5 rebounds. I think at even money. Look, Cardoso's been hot actually. He cleared a double-double last game, but I do want to see the status. I know Griner may be out, and that might affect me there a little bit if she is. In fact, Griner is doubtful now. She's going to be out here, sounds like tonight. So that's tough, but they've performed without her before. So give me Cardoso under 9.5 rebounds tonight in this one. That's going to be pretty contrarian, but I'm going to take that. All right, next up, the Fever and the Mercury here. You got the Mercury. They're down to 3.5 here right now. So, look, this Fever surge, it feels like. Let's see, we might be getting an update here right now. No, just the addition of Atkins in that last game. So that is a major concern there right now. Probably could take Chicago team total under again. Feels like. Okay, Fever and the Mercury down to 3.5 here right now. And the total's gone up to 172 with this one. Little bit of a move here for sure between these two. So let's see how you guys have it today with Indiana taking on the Mercury. We know Indiana here right now. They have a long winning streak actually against the Phoenix Mercury. They've done a very good job against Phoenix here in the past. They've won 6 straight meetings against Phoenix and covered the spread in 5 of them, all the meetings over the last couple of years. Indiana's also 8-4 ATS as a dog. Phoenix has won 2 straight. They're 9-5 against the spread at home. I'm going to take Indiana here as my play. Look, Indiana, they were getting 5.5. Now they're down to 3.5. I was almost thinking premium here, but it's gone down. You can get 4 still out there in some spots. I'm going to take Indiana in this one. Phoenix has done a pretty good job at home. This is a pretty big game. Phoenix 18-11, kind of the battling Atlanta and battling New York actually in the playoff chase for the number 2 seed. Indiana's right there too. Now they're a little bit behind those 3 teams, but they've been so hot. And we know Caitlin Clark, she's going to miss her 8th straight game here. But you know what? Indiana's in a pretty good position. You don't want to bring Clark back and injure it again. So just keep going if you're Indiana and hope you can get a good seed. She'll be back for a few games, I'm sure, but no need to rush her back down. A couple comments in the chat from you guys here in this one. And let's see here. Let me go to your plays in the chat real quick. Just checking out some of the golf scores here. Akshay Bhatia already out to a 4 under. Matt Fitzpatrick 3 under. Harry Hall 3 under in there as well. As we get going here, Rosie's got a birdie here early. Watching some of the golf here. Wyndham Clark today. I will say I did put Clark. He almost missed my cut because he doesn't make these cuts in these big events, but I did have him in there today. You guys are talking Asian Cup, I think, in there a little bit. Let me see what you guys got. I just felt. But look, we split the plays. I know Guam didn't quite get it done yesterday, losing by 25. We were getting 24.5, I think, for the most part, 24. But we had Qatar against Lebanon, and they did a great job. So we did split the Asian Cup action. I didn't do anything with those early games, but do have a nice game coming up, right, with Philippines and New Zealand. Are you guys talking about that one there in the chat? That feels like a pretty good game coming up here, top of the hour at the Asia Cup, the Asia Wilson Cup. Okay, here we go. Let me look at some of these here. Robert went over in the dream game. I might have missed some of the chat here. There it is. Andrew was talking about. Yeah, that's feels like a pretty good game. Fever for NYC Bar in this one. Fever for sure for Dave. Robert likes the under with this high total. And let's see. Hey, Dirty Red, she's getting specific on us tonight. He says he thinks the guards in the center for the Fever will have a good game. I like that. They lean good, have good action against Phoenix. So I like that. Maybe I can add to that a little bit with my projection a little bit here. He says the guard and the center. So he likes Boston. He likes McDonald. He likes Mitchell. I think the matchup's relatively neutral there for them. I think, for Phoenix, so you got to think. Look, the one area Indiana has some problems is with the defense. They've improved defensively, no doubt about it, but still, I'll just say it. Cunningham, as well as she's played, I don't think a great defender. I don't think Mitchell's a good defender. And, I think even Natasha Howard's had some issues. But, Ari McDonald will get up in your grill. What an acquisition. I just watch her, that energy that she has. Here's AT for Justin over with the PR. And Dirty Red, she is not a fan. I think he's talking about Makani Akoa right there, and not necessarily. Okay. Anyways, I'm taking Indiana, and we got one more game to go in the W tonight. Not a great one, but we'll see what we got here with the Sun taking on the Sparks. In this one, you got the Sparks 11.5. All right, yeah. Sparks favored here by a 9.5 now. It's going down. Look, the Sparks are playing pretty well, but are they going to blow out Connecticut? The Sparks are the worst spread team in the league at home. A total here 174. They've actually covered a couple of games here of late that have allowed the Sparks to improve their home record against the spread, but they're still just 3-10 against the spread overall. The Sparks have won both games this year against Connecticut, going 1-1 ATS. Connecticut here has lost 2 straight. They are 5-8 to the under on the road. LA's 8-3 to the over as a favorite. They're 9-3 to the over at home. Man, down 9.5 here is starting to be, I don't know. Maybe this could be a situation for LA now with this move. Total here at 174. Let's take a look what you guys have here in this one. Go to the chat here right now. Show's almost over here. Right, Justin here says he's got the Sun team total over. He's also has a Sun in this one, plus the points. Blue is on the under here, and so am I. I'm on the under as my play here on the morning's team. I might be rehashing my play from the WNBA 2-3 zone show. Dave also likes it under. He might, maybe he likes the Sparks under or the game under here. Dirty Reg, I think he said he doesn't like the matchup here for Lexi Hall. Oh, and Whitcomb. Whitcomb was on fire, though, there in that game the other night, wasn't it? Under for Robert NYC Bar likes the Sparks on the money line. And Andrew said Guam was getting enough points in the end. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was going down, but cool. Maybe I need to be in the Asian Cup today. I just didn't look at those first two games. And this is going to be a good game, I believe, with Philippines and New Zealand here coming up in just a moment. New Zealand's favored by 6 in that game, but I could look at my ratings here real quick, though. And see what's going on. The show's over anyways. I mean, we pretty much looked at every game here right now, so really appreciate everyone joining me here actually on the Morning Steam Show. All right. I've got a CFL game. I'm sorry. There is a CFL game here as well. Seeing a little bit more news in the NFL here for this weekend. It looks like we know Razor's in the chat. So Justin Fields will be playing, and the starters will play on Saturday against the Packers there as Aaron Glenn, kind of with a little different philosophy here, it looks like, for the Jets in the preseason. I think that's pretty interesting. All right, let me get a move on here to the CFL game tonight. Take a look. All right. And let's see. Timmy's ready to go here in the CFL. He likes BC here against those Tiger Cats. Man, Hamilton's look pretty good. Dave says he's all signed up. Remember, Dave won as well, so he's in there for the picks. He's all signed up. Appreciate it, Dave. It's good to have you as part of the team over there at Winnable. Appreciate that. I don't know if you are there, Dave, actually. I don't see it actually yet, but I'll check it out. I'm looking at it here. I don't see you signed up, Dave. Oh, no. All right. Andrew says New Zealand beat up on the old Philippines last time. But you know what? PBA is one of my favorite leagues. I'd actually give more plays out, and I probably watch more PBA than I give out. But, you know, PBA is on quite a bit. You can find PBA games. Okay, Son of the Sparks, I'm on the under. That's it. Let's go to the game there. NYC Bar did sign up. Okay, great. Appreciate that. I hope I got it right there. Man, NYC Bar, I don't know unless I see a name there, a new name, but I want to get it right. Make sure you use that promo code WINNER. All right, just helping my friends out here. Show's over pretty much, but if you didn't if you don't sign up for the VIP there, make sure you're getting the premium. And use that promo code WINNER. There's also Leagues Cup tonight. I'm going to try to come in with some plays. We lost our play yesterday on the happy hour. So, all right, Justin says, Sun tonight. He's going to take an alternate line there, plus money. All right, here's our CFL game, the Lions and the Ticats. Here tonight, Lions on the road. This is going to be a good game, man. We did get that news here, so let me make sure we got it right. Be on the CBS Sports Network tonight for this one with the Lions and the Ticats. And Dave's in the chat. So Dave, Dave and I previewed some high school ball last night with some young student athletes on their team. We previewed my favorite team, and the Tiger Cats have a former Helix Highlander on their roster, Dave, in Isaiah Wooden. Isaiah Wooden might have a big game tonight. He's had some big performances so far. Another good one last week with 111 yards. He actually caught a pass 2 in the game. I think that was his first reception of the season. You know he's going to run back a kick tonight. Now, look, there's no doubt that BC still has, to me, you got to respect their defense still. I know it's been rough so far, but with Nathan Rourke in there today and, man, good running game with Butler. Butler can have a big game, man. I would say Butler's probably my favorite player maybe in the game. Total's 55.5 here. I don't know if I'm buying it necessarily there today because I think BC's got some defense and can keep them a little bit in check. Now, Bo Levi Mitchell, love him or hate him, he's had a big game here, 2 straight weeks. He's looked good. We know Hamilton's on fire right now with these 6 straight wins. It feels like the juju is all good. Man, Mitchell, 350 yards last week, 3 touchdowns. The week before, 3 touchdowns, 389 yards. He's been on fire. He's got great contributions. Lawler looks like an MVP candidate out there at another weak game, though. Last time out, right? He's actually had 2 kind of weak games here compared to how hot he was at the start of the season. But you'll still have Keandre Smith. He was the guy who was big last week and the week before. Remember, he had the 2 touchdowns against BC in that wild game, and last week's game was pretty wild as well. All right. Well, I'm taking Hamilton here. Man, BC, they have the defense. They probably have the better skill players too. Keon Hatcher, you figure, Barry Hill. But Hamilton's on fire right now, and they're looking great. 3 points, that still feels a little tough. I'm taking Hamilton as my play here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Justin, let's see here. Monterey says Fernando. Jermaine says, is this show still on? Dave has interviewed Woody before. Fernando had Miami yesterday. He says these are just getting in the way right now. I lost my play on the happy hour with Minnesota. They laid an egg. They blew it. Minnesota blew it. Now look where we're at with them in the league's cup. I mean, they needed a win, right? They were on the outside looking in, and they blew it. So we're getting down to trying to find out which teams are going to go to the knockout stage, and that was a costly loss there for Minnesota. Right now, you're looking at teams like Orlando and Portland trying to battle their way in. We know Seattle's in, Miami's in, Toluca's in, Pachuca's in, and also Tigres are in. There's 1 spot left. Will it be Puebla? Will it be Juarez? That's the other spot to be decided so far. Now, in Major League Soccer teams, it's wild, but it does look like Orlando and Portland, could get the upper hand, but you still have the Galaxy, Cincinnati, and Red Bulls all still alive. Trevor's got Hamilton. Timmy Two Shoes, Lawler team in the first half. Andrew said they're betting the Philippines. All right, gang, I guess the show is over after all. Really appreciate you joining me here on the Morning Steam. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. More Morning Steam. Don't forget Mikey Money is here today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action tonight. Won't be a long show, I guess. He'll probably talk a little football. He'll talk about the WNBA, and he's still got 2 baseball games to look at with the afternoon coverage. So join Mikey for the coverage here today. And don't forget to join us on Saturday with our coverage of UFC Fight Night. Get that strong main event here between top 10 contenders on Saturday night with Dolidze and Hernandez. Make sure you join us at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific for the UFC companion stream here on Saturday on the Sports Money Network. I'll be along with the guys, and you can get my plays for UFC Fight Night late tomorrow night as we get into the action on Saturday over at winnable.com. Join me and the guys. That's where you get extra content from us daily. Hey, we're going to give you some free winners here every day on the anchor shows and our other shows as well. And I'm on those other channels giving out free plays. But if you want more winners from me, head on over to winnable.com.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, get my plays over at winnable.com. Click the QR code at the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Hey, I'll help you figure it out if you can't get in there. I hope Dave gets in there. I want to make him some money as well. And join me over at winnable.com/Ramon. Like I said, got my plays over there. I'll have more plays today. It'll be a light day here. Hey, if you subscribe today on a light day like this, I'll double whatever if you get 1 week, I'll give you 2. If you get 1 month, I'll give you 2. If you get 1 day, I'll give you 2 days with this light card today. So really do appreciate it here on the Morning Steam Show. Thank you very much. And let's do the drawing, shall we? And see who gets a free subscription again today. And please, you guys, sign up. You get the free month. You don't have to play all my plays if you don't, Ramon. But yesterday would have been a good idea, it feels like, to get the plays. Let's go here as we get ready for the drawing. 30 of you are signed up. And who were the best chatters today? Let's look at the algorithm from YouTube. It analyzes who was the best. I mean, if you went by volume, we know who'd win. It'd be Blue. But maybe the YouTube algorithm does analyze exactly what you say, because NYC Bar is number 1. Well, Blue is number 2. Andrew K, number 3. Bobby Mack, 4. Dirty Reg, 5. Fernando, 6. Trevor Davis, number 7. AOD, 8. Dave Dickens is number 9. And Vitalis was number 10. Here we go with the drawing. Fernando, Mitch, Timmy, Robert, Dave, Cinna Figure It Out, Razor, Nate Cerna, AOD, and the winner is Jimmy. Jimmy and his grandson there, you see, number 28. The Bulldogs, thank you, Jimmy. Use the promo code WINNER at checkout. Sign up for the 1 month package and use the promo code WINNER. There should be no charge whatsoever when you sign up with the promo code WINNER there. So no reward, no risk, all reward. Free subscription for Jimmy to the Ramon Sports Money Premiums, and hopefully have another good day like we did yesterday. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam. Really appreciate everyone joining me here with the show. And a few more comments. We'll get out of here. Just enjoying my time with you guys here. Robert Glock, thank you so much for being a new member. We know you're a true OG member there, Robot Glock. Good to see you. And let's see here. Fernando, a little ready there. Dave wants you to watch us tonight talk high school football. Thank you, Dave. Okay, NYC Bar, thank you. I'll be sure to find that. If not, I'll tell you what's going on. And I don't know, it should be. Thank you, Justin. We'll see you a little later as well. Robert's talking more here. Okay, AJ Stogsdill, good to see you. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Really appreciate it. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.